Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Where today I get to try the new Toyota. Tires. Oh, got tire warmers. So yeah, very slippery on gold tires. Even with tire warmers. Lots of cars on the track. Oh. Might this be my new favorite car? I don't know. Do not. Okay.
Justin Slim Friesen says, "What's up?"
Hey. Hello, Justin. Not much. What's up with you? Buying the new Toyota. It's a blast.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Zilch.
Zilch. Okay. You didn't watch the practice session for Monaco? Man, that has to be the worst race in the F1 calendar. I mean, sure, the cars are smaller, but they need to be a lot smaller to make racing interesting on that
Justin
track.
Slim Friesen says. I did. Am looking great.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Worst race, but best quali.
I'll have to have a look at it then. I saw that it was up, and I saw that they were doing the second practice session, but I was like, I wanted to work on my liveries and try this car out. Might be my new favorite, who knows? Seems to be in between the Ferrari and the Peugeot. Every single time. We can get rid of that rear problem. I'll be very happy.
Justin Slim Friesen says. How'd your race go last night? You never answered in Glenn's stream.
Oh, well, maybe I wasn't there. You know, when I'm watching Glenn, I may or may not be there. And I type something and then I get up and do stuff. Because it was after the race and I had to go and walk my cats and all that kind of stuff. Well, my tactic worked. I said I was keeping a surprise for the end of the race to beat Glenn. Ooh, a slight bump really threw me off. Really? I can't spin the wheels on this car to flip around. I'm not liking that. Man, there's two BMWs in that race. One is Morales, the other one was like a white BMW. And every single time, like, I'd wait behind them because they were keeping their race lines. They were not making it easy for hypers to pass them, or not make it easy for me to pass them. And every time we'd get to a straight, and just as we're coming out of the corner, it's like they see where I'm going and then they decide to cut me off every single time. And throughout the S's and whatnot, they would move aside to let the cars catching up to me pass me and pass them while blocking me, you know. It's like I was getting so frustrated with that white BMW that I was seriously thinking of intentionally wrecking him. I figured I'm gonna get alongside him and just push him off the track, like he's been trying to do all race long to me. And I don't think that white BMW even finished the race.
Justin Slim Friesen says, "Boo."
Yeah, I have a feeling that these guys I've come across already, and maybe I reported them and they weren't happy about it or something, or I called them out, or because I'd go right, they'd go right, I'd go left, they would go left the entire time I was behind them. I tried to go outside, on the outside of a corner with them, then they would push me off, sticking to their race line instead of giving me space to pass them. It was non-stop. Every time we, every 2 or 3 laps I'd catch up to them. It was the same thing over and over again. So, you know what? I don't get really emotional and stuff. That's my secret weapon. You know, it's like I'm okay finishing last, you know. I'm just here to have a good race and have fun and enjoy myself. Even these guys were trying to make it hard as they could to wreck my race. Like, you know, it's not gonna change the world for me, you know. It's not gonna do anything. It's like, okay, I'm losing time, but so are you, so you're not gonna catch up to the guys in front of you if you just keep fighting a hypercar, really. And in the end, you know what? I did have some good moments. I was kind of frustrated that I lost Glenn early in the race, by the second lap, I don't know what exactly happened. I can't remember. I think that Toyota spin out in front of me and I kind of slowed down. But by the third lap, you know, I was already like 20 seconds behind Glenn, which really annoyed me. Because I wanted to fight him the entire time. But for the first half of the race, I was fighting that Toyota that kept spinning out and stuff. So a couple of times I passed you and I was in a fight with somebody. Same thing when they started to pit, then I started being able to race them again. Oh man.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I noticed.
You noticed? Yeah, I was having good fun. The only problem is that those BMWs would let that Toyota pass, but then...
Justin Slim Friesen says, can't remember who though.
Yeah, the only thing is that every time we'd catch up with those BMWs, they would let him go, and then, you know, just block the shit out of me, you know. But like I said, I don't care, and that Toyota spins out again, so I catch up to him again. We continue fighting for a couple of rounds, a couple of laps. Catch up to those BMWs. BMWs would let everybody else pass. You know, I was like, okay, whatever. Thing is that I did a lot of fuel saving during the race. So my pit was really short. So I was, you know, like 10 seconds behind Glenn and that Toyota by the end of the race. And then they took each other out.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I was surprised to SEKP win. I'm happy for him.
Oh, I wasn't. I was not. First of all, Larson, again, in another car, the Lambo. Good car, but it's not a top tier car. It's like second to top tier. Which, in his hands, he's really fast with it. Like, you know, he could take the worst, slowest car ever and still manage to come in first, kind of a thing. But KP's really good, you know. They often have been very close. And even during the practice session, they were one behind the other for many laps. I had a good time watching them. It's almost like they would slingshot one another. You know? To get a fast lap in the straight, one would slingshot the other. So one would pass the other and then get the fastest lap, and the other one would slingshot the other. Then the other would have the fastest lap. They were really working nicely together. And I'm surprised that this Peugeot has a hard time.
Justin Slim Friesen says, oh yeah. Larson was so far out in the lead. He just threw it away.
Yeah, well, that I expected that. Like I said, that track with all that traffic, and sorry to say, but drivers like Jones, like there's a lot of drivers there that only do GT races, right? They don't do multi-class. So they don't know how to deal with the GT, the hypers on the race. You know, and it shows when we do these kinds of races last night. Where there's a lot of traffic, you're constantly getting overrun by the hypers. It's like, well, Zealous is a GT, you know, gang. So if they make the hypercar lives miserable, well, it's okay because, you know, we are a GT club, you know. Either that or people just never do multi-class racing and only do the GT stuff. And
Justin Slim Friesen says, I didn't really have any issues with that. Other than a couple awkward moments with Scum.
with Shim, I don't know who that is. And I didn't notice any awkward moments. Oh, my tires are at 90. Okay, we need to bring my back tires temperatures down, maybe. I don't know what to do for that rear. Oh, I didn't even put new tires on. Like, you know, you can notice GT drivers that are uncomfortable and then they don't know what to do when a GT comes behind them. And you can see them hesitate and, you know, they're debating whether they should be taking the race line or move out of the way. But they're hesitating, so it almost created a bunch of accidents. I was really surprised that we didn't have more accidents than we had yesterday. Only 3 DNFs. And one of them is because he got disconnected. Whoa, dude! Ugh. Man. Okay, I'm confused here. Now the rear will spin out on me. Okay, whatever. Ooh! I didn't even see him there until the last moment. But there was a lot of times that there could have been accidents. You know, I was watching KP and Larson, and I'd move out of the way, out of the racing line, so they could have, you know, a good race. And then I saw the GTs in front, not giving a damn, moving in front of Larson, moving in front of KP. I'm like, okay, that was almost an accident, that was almost an accident, that was almost an accident. I mean, it was interesting, but you know, it's not a race that's fun for hypercars, that's for sure. You know, if we had a proper Silverstone track, you know, where you get couple of few sections without coming across a GT. It was constantly GT here, GT there, GT all the time. And it's a good thing that I'm not in a rush to pass them, because some of you guys were having really good fights. So, you know, for 10, 15, 20 seconds that I was behind you guys, watching you guys fight, it was interesting. But eventually, I do have to pass you guys. Make room. That's another thing, you know. It's like you're following 4 GTs that are fighting, and you get to the straight. Well, guess what happens? You have 2 moving to one side of the track, and then you got 2 moving to the other side of the track, giving no room to the hypercars to go through. And it's sad to say, but none of any of the 4 GTs really has a speed advantage over the other to overtake them in the straight. So I'm like, okay, well, don't you guys know that there's a blue flag? You know? And 2 of them could say, yeah, well, I'm sticking to my race line. I gave them room. And the other 2, well, yeah, I got out of the way. You know, it's just a mess. I don't care. I was having fun with the Ferrari. It was, you know, I got the Ferrari to the point where it's not fast, but it's fun to drive. And I was listening to Gamer Muscle today, which I don't really like. And he's like, the force feedback in this game, the realism, everything is off. It's wonky. It doesn't feel right. So that's why he's been playing Wreckfest and other things lately instead. Or ACC instead. Because he doesn't like the way this game feels. I could not disagree with him more. It's like, oh, the netcode in Wreckfest is so much better than LMU. No, never tried Wreckfest, but it would probably suit my violent tendencies, but I'm not quite sure.
Justin Slim Friesen says, never played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I don't think it's my kind of game. But yeah, I had more fun watching our news criticism of the update patch, and I so agree with them. We've been saying the same thing for so long. This game needs another 20 tracks. Not 10, 20. I was like, yeah, completely agree. And he kept bashing it in and over and over again. Sure, the updated liveries are cool. Okay, so getting an LMP3 car, whatever. We need new maps. They need to start with at least 5 new maps, but even 10's not gonna be enough. We need a good 20. But yeah. Road America, The Glen, Road Atlanta, Sika, Mugello, Zolder, Suzuka, Montreal would be nice. Not sure about Long Beach, but I guess I'll have to try it again. But to my recollection, Long Beach is a city street map track, and I don't like those. Hockenheim Ring.
Dalaratman Jair says, "Good afternoon."
Hey, good afternoon, Dale. Thanks so much for stopping by. You really do hear everything, eh? Every time we talk about you, 2 seconds later you show up.
Dalaratman Jair says, "LMAO, no." Dalaratman Jair says, "I missed it apparently." Dalaratman Jair says, "Hope it was bad." Dalaratman Jair says, "LOL."
Oh, apparently, there was a couple of changes to the Corvette. Did you notice it yesterday? Is it an improvement, or did it make the car worse? Because I tried that car at practice last Monday, and I really did not like it. Is it like more stable but slower, or is it just all over the place? You seem to be doing good in it yesterday, but you always do good in it. And no, we never say anything bad.
Dalaratman Jair says, "Yup, a little more stable."
Okay, well maybe I'll give it
Justin Slim Friesen says, "Hard to tell on that layup." Dalaratman Jair says, "Whatever they did to the default setups is nice."
Yeah, because I saw our new was talking about it. He says, yeah, that car was OP. And they changed it, but I didn't catch if it was a change for the better or for the worse. Obviously, losing top speed is never a good thing. But man, would I lose the rear on it at any given moment.
Dalaratman Jair says, "Right before this patch the Corvette was mega fast in a straight line, LOL."
Yeah, it was. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to try it out some more. And Slim said he's been trying it out lately and it seems to be okay. But man, every corner I'm losing the rear on that car. And I don't think you can change the differentials on a GT car. Maybe just the preload? Not quite sure. I'm liking the new Toyota though. I might change cars again for the tournament.
Dollarotman Jair says. It's a hard car to drive, so I'd suggest sticking to the base setups till you get it sorted.
Yeah, I don't do well with base setups.
Justin Slim Friesen says. IMHO, if a guy can master the vet, it's the best car to drive. At or near the top for most tracks.
Well, if you say so. I just don't know how to drive. I need a car that drives itself. Yeah, but I do okay for a guy that doesn't know how to drive. And no, I don't hold my brakes.
Dollarotman Jair says. Clifford is sassy that the Lombo finally got brought back to reality, LOL.
What does that mean? Does it mean it's good again, or does it mean that...
Justin Slim Friesen says. LOL.
Or did they make it even worse?
Justin Slim Friesen says. It's a conspiracy. Dollarotman Jair says. The Lombo got nerfed.
Even more than it was, really. Man, Cliff must not be happy. Maybe it's time for him to hop into a Porsche.
Dollarotman Jair says. It needed it, LOL.
Maybe it's time he hops into a Porsche. Oh, dude. Why do you do that to me? And again. I guess it's a practice session and these cars are not getting any blue flags. That's what the GTs were doing to me yesterday. I was right beside them.
Dollarotman Jair says. The Lombo was the best at a few circuits and top 3 at every other one, lol.
Yeah, well that was like 6 months ago. Since then they've been changing it so much that the way Cliff talks about it, it's been really crappy for the past 6 months. And the fact that they keep nerfing it is kind of crazy. It's like, you know, every time they change it, GC adapts to it. Makes really fast laps, and then LMU's like, nope, this guy's still too fast in this car. We've got to nerf it even more.
Dollarotman Jair says. Well, they made a few errors with it, but when they fixed the errors it was still dominant.
Oh, okay.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Yeah. Cliff used the Lombo through rose-covered glasses. Or shit-covered. One of the two. LOL.
So yeah, last night race was different.
Dollarotman Jair says. Funnily enough, the Lexus was never really super high up on the BOP charts. It just got popular for being driver friendly.
Yes. I mean, it's a big hunk of steel, and every time you bump it, it'll send you, rather than it, into the barriers. It's not great at anything, it's just okay at everything. And for a lot of people, that's what they need. Personally, I have trouble with a front engine car. That might change when they change it to the GT-GR. But until then, I still want to stick with a mid-engine layout. Having said that, I don't drive GTs anymore, so...
Justin Slim Friesen says, yup. Good cars for gold drivers and above are not the same as the good ones for S1 and below. Dolarodman Jair says, bingo, Slim. Dolarodman Jair says, Corvette was never popular, but it got hit hard LOL.
No, it wasn't popular, and strangely enough, it's the first car that I tried out when I got into this game. And when the screen loaded up and I saw that there's 3 sections to the windshield, I got out of it, switched to the Ferrari, and played the Ferrari for 2 months. It's the first car I tried, but never really. I just couldn't get used to that 3-section windshield. Now, it doesn't bother me so much, but I can't keep it on track. Like, I'm always saving it, you know, it's like, the rear goes, I save it, the rear goes, I save it. I don't have the reflexes to deal with that.
Dolarodman Jair says, that stuff is so much easier to look past in VR.
Probably. If people would stop bothering me trying to get me to buy an R25.
Dolarodman Jair says, yeah, most setups are tuned for oversteer cause normies think it's fast LOL.
I like oversteer, it's just I don't know what's going on with it.
Dolarodman Jair says, so if they're not sliding through their turns, they think they need to buy new setups.
I'm constantly sliding. On lift, on coast, on whatever I do with the car, the rear just goes sideways.
Justin Slim Friesen says, well, it is fast. Just not for normies. LOL.
Nope, definitely not for normies.
Dolarodman Jair says, but oversteer is the enemy for new drivers, in my opinion LOL. Justin Slim Friesen says, agreed Dale.
Really? Okay. I like oversteer, but to a certain point. What am I trying to do here?
Justin Slim Friesen says, you know what's faster than spinning? Not spinning. Dolarodman Jair says, The small vocal minority that we talk to hate the understeery setups in the fixed races. Dollarotman Jair says. And yet LMU is poppin' off with those fixed setup races.
Oh, I'm not a fan of fixed races. Fixed setups. I mean, it's...
Justin Slim Friesen says. Same in iRacing. Dollarotman Jair says. Yup. Justin Slim Friesen says. Fixed is and will always be more popular.
Well, yes, because it's... People can't be bothered watching our news videos and understanding stuff. How the batteries work, how the VE works, how the third spring works, how the dampeners work, toe in, toe outs, rake, and all that. People can't be bothered with that. And I get it, you know, some people work 80 hours a week. They come to their sim game, they want to hop in and play.
Dollarotman says. I know I couldn't be bothered to learn a damn thing about the setup screen LOL.
You know, some people work 80 hours
Justin
a week.
Slim Friesen says. Guys feel like it evens the playing field.
It does.
And it does.
It does. In a sense, like I said, you're working 80 hours a week. You come in, you have 1 hour of play, you get into a race, and everybody's on the same level field. Thing is that with fixed setups, you'll always have a car that will be better on the track than the other cars. So it's always like, well, pick the Halo car for this track, and it's still going to be better than the others.
Dollarotman Jair says. Yup. Imagine if they put an esports setup in a fixed setup race LMAO.
I just like making the cars comfortable for me. So if I like driving a certain car...
Dollarotman Jair says. This game would be dead and the normies would say it was unrealistically difficult to drive.
Yeah, true.
Justin Slim Friesen says. And, assuming you don't know anything about making a setup, you can compete without having to pay a setup shop.
True that. Thing is with the setup shops, you avoid having to tweak a lot of the stuff. Half of it's already done, you just need a few adjustments here and there. Whereas this one I have absolutely no setup. I'm changing everything here and there. And even with the Ferrari, with all the setups available to me, I still couldn't. And I really had to go off the rails with that configuration.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Part of me wishes Enduros were fixed TBH.
Not me. I don't know how I would feel about the GTs, maybe. But all the hypercars are really bad. They really got bad defaults.
Dollarotman Jair says. Would be amazing to shut setup queen teammates up LMAO. Justin Slim Friesen says. Yup, lol. Rodman Jair says. We have too much choice these days, lol.
Can never have too much choice.
Rodman Jair says. Sit there looking at Netflix instead of watching anything. Stuck in the choice. Justin Slim Friesen says. It do feel that way sometimes.
No, I guess you have to know yourself, right? Because I remember a time when TVs were black and white, we had 13 channels, and then there was nothing good on TV. And then you're stuck watching whatever your father wants to watch, and then you're stuck watching whatever your mother wants to watch. And you're stuck watching whatever your sister wants to watch. Colored cable came along, and it was still crappy.
Rodman Jair says. Yeah, there's like a sweet spot with choices available, lol. Justin Slim Friesen says. What is that called? Choice paralysis or something like that.
Oh, dude! Oh, come on. You want to fight?
Rodman Jair says. Yup.
Hey, that Mercedes was aggressive. I don't hate the new liveries. I have Netflix and whatnot, and if there's nothing there, then I move to whatever, do something else.
Rodman Jair says. I didn't even look at the new liveries.
Well, I'm noticing them. That Mercedes was not silver. I think I found a sweet balance with this car now. Still not fast, but I'm enjoying driving it. That's all it's about for me. Getting into a car and just enjoying it. Don't care if I'm fast or not. I need to start putting a turtle, I think, on my cars or my bumpers or something. Hypers don't have bumpers, but I need to put a turtle somewhere. I'm always the slowest one on the field, but I'm never the one that finishes last. If that makes any sense. I just enjoy driving these cars. Oops, yellow. Where's the yellow? In front of me, in back of me? It's rare that he's... Oh, it's because it's finished.
Justin Slim Friesen says, Greg had a tough start last night.
Alright, time for me to set up a smoke screen. Why did he have a tough start? Why do you say that? From my point of view, he had a great start because he was in front of me and then managed to pass two other cars. And he was within, you know, a couple of seconds of everybody. He was in a great place to have a fun race yesterday. Why can I not watch it once it's over? That is so bad. Oh, did I just lose my setup? No, I'm going to go to the next session here. Hopefully it saved my setup. That was bad.
Justin Slim Friesen says, he wrecked just after the green. Not sure who you're talking about, Jeeps.
You're talking about Greg. Oh! Okay, I thought you were talking about Glenn.
Dollarotman Jair says, yeah, major cell phone from Greg LOL.
See, I did not see that. But that was probably behind me. I don't know what happened in the GTs. Okay, let's save this because this was sweet. Yeah, this was a sweet spot.
Justin Slim Friesen says, guess he didn't notice the radar. LOL.
Will it go back to the practice session? Can I see it? No way. Oh, man. Okay.
Dollarotman Jair says, I watched it back on his stream and was still baffled LMAO.
No, that's not what I want to do. Replays.
Justin Slim Friesen says, me too.
Really? Okay. God, I hate this configuration.
Dollarotman Jair says, one of those brain.exe has stopped working moments.
Really? Okay, how do I switch to the GTs? There we go. Why did he pull a Monza on you guys? Ouch. Yeah, what did he do there?
Dalarodman Jair says. Jones started to lift a little early. Dalarodman Jair says. Greg panicked.
Oh man. There was one guy that was dangerous yesterday. Well, a couple of guys, but this guy here. This blue Porsche, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know how many times he spun out his Porsche. It's too bad for Omar. You say he got disconnected? He lost his internet? There was a couple of BMWs that I really hated yesterday. Morales. This guy, I hate him with a passion. Nope, not this guy. This guy was playing nicely. Yeah, Morales was just a pain in the butt for everybody, I think.
Justin Slim Friesen says. LOL. Easy big guy.
He's giving Dale some a hard time there. Finally. Had to study him a bit, figure out a way around him.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Hard to get a pass done here. Dale had an awesome race.
Yep, he did, from what I saw. That is one thing, though. We got to see a lot of you guys racing on this short track. Oh man, Jones is not going to make it easy for him either. Yeah, I don't know why Paul's livery didn't load up. I thought that he actually left the tournament to re-register to be able to use his livery. So I don't know why it didn't load up. Did he accidentally pick the 2026 Ferrari instead of the 2025? And that's why it didn't load up? Because I think he wanted to use the one that I made him. He's asking me for a bunch of liveries.
Justin Slim Friesen says. I assume that would be it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think he wanted to use the one that he had made me do last week. Okay. Am I too late for the Algarve here? Yeah, I am too late. 34 minutes. Ugh, and this is 75 minutes. I won't have time to do this. Hey, is there a McLaren only race this week, or was that last week? No, McLaren Challenge. Why do they call it the McLaren G? Does anybody know? Nobody knows? Isn't this also a fixed setup race? Even though they don't say it's fixed?
Justin Slim Friesen says. I don't know.
Aren't all bronze races fixed? To my recollection. Yeah, well, I'm thinking that they need more variety in their track selections. I mean, they're not the same duration, so it just might be bad timing. Okay, let's go and see the hosted. Anything I can do in the hosted races? Practice for 2. Oh, this is a long hyper. I want to try a new Toyota somewheres. Ah, fixed setups, man. What are they thinking? I really wish that you can do different settings for different categories. Like if the GTs want to run on fixed setups, do that for the GTs. And if the hypers want to run with tire warmers, then you can do that without one affecting all categories in a race. Am I asking for too much? Am I too difficult? Like, should I just concentrate on one wish list and I want 20 new maps for this game? And that's it? Okay, let's go to practice somewheres.
Very Albig Maple says. Asking for way too much, JP.
Apparently so. Hello, Glenn. How are you today? Thanks for stopping by. Enabled, defaults. Let's try the Toyota here. Where's my Toyota?
Very Albig Maple says. I am okay.
Just okay, buddy. That's not gonna cut it. It's Friday. TGIF. Then you get to do fun stuff all weekend.
Very Albig Maple says. I am working, dude. I can be just okay.
Well, I get that. I get that.
Justin Slim Friesen says. The Majors 24 starts tomorrow, Glenn. Should we do it? LOL. Very Albig Maple says. OMG, don't tempt me.
Okay, I don't know what the Majors is. Or the Majors 24. Is that a 24-hour race that you do in a team and you guys want to do it together? I would be like, go for it, guys. I'm not gonna watch you guys for 24 hours, though.
Dollarotman Jair says. Do it. Very Albig Maple says. It's iRacing Lemons 24.
Oh. What does this look like? I don't have a...
Very Albig Maple says. Well, if you aren't going to watch for 24HS, then I am not going to do it, JP.
Hey.
Dollarotman Jair says. LOL.
I already have a hard time watching Dale's 8 hours. Dale and GC's 8 hour stuff. When it's 3-4 hours, okay, maybe. You know, you wake up in the morning and while you're having coffee and stuff, working on liveries. Oh, practice session is almost over. I don't even have time to work a...
Very Albig Maple says. But I would have a hard time watching Dale for 8 hours also, LOL.
Well, that's why I switch between Dale while I watch...
Dollarotman Jair says. So would I, LOL.
Well, I got more than one screen, so I have GC on one and Dale on the other. I have to turn the volume off on one of them because I think GC is not using the, what is it called? He's got like 30 seconds lag.
Justin Slim Friesen says. I'm actually trying, and failing, to watch less streams. LOL.
Well, one way would be to start your own stream, Justin. Stop putting it off. Get up bright and early in the morning and stream when nobody else is streaming.
Very Albig Maple says. Yeah, I see that, Slim. You're in mine all the time. Very Albig Maple says. He's not going to start streaming again.
Why is it not letting me leave here? Is the game broken again? Is this one of those bugs where I need to shut up and not have a wish list and just wish for more tracks? Because it's not letting me leave. And the timer stopped. So what's going on?
Justin Slim Friesen says. Like I said the other day. I get tempted. Then remember I hate people. LOL.
What does my big kitty cat want? I think my big cat's hungry. Okay, I'll get him some food. I'll be back while this game loads in again.
Very Albig Maple says. I hate people also, but at sometimes it's nice to talk to people again, not work related. Justin Slim Friesen says. I get that.
I love talking to people. I love people. Just as long as they're not here in real life. If that makes any sense.
Very Albig Maple says, tonight's stream might be on or off. Family issues that I might have to take care of, so it will be a last-minute decision.
Oh, well, real life is always more important than virtual reality.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I like individuals. Not groups though. As Jeeps clarified my opinion the other day. Very Albig Maple says, especially if pertains to the wife, smiley face.
Well, wife, kids, you know, family. Brothers and sisters, they can, you know. You have to grow up with them, that's enough. Like, I don't know why. My sister calls me up, asks me for advice, and does always the complete opposite of the advice I gave her. She just wants to call me up, have my opinion, and stick it to the man. Because women can do, you know, stuff better than men. And no, it never works out for her. So at some point, I just don't
Very
pick up the
Albig Maple
phone
says,
anymore.
She's not calling you for advice, she's asking for clarification of what she was thinking.
Kinda, sort of a thing, yep. Actually, that was pretty decent already.
Very Albig Maple says, I might have to do ZRL and then dailies on Thursday's stream, as that was fun doing the hypercars.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. And I'm gonna have to rewatch yesterday's stream of yours, because I keep telling Justin, like, nobody streams hypercars. And I'm kind of tired of watching GTs. I don't drive them anymore.
Very Albig Maple says, but you beat me because of my stupid mistake when I hit Devin.
Well, if you want to, I'll host one and we can duel it out on a track of your choice. Just the two of us. I enjoy hosting races. I think, yep, let's just save this as is.
Very Albig Maple says, we have the next round on ZRL, I will make up for my blunder.
Well, it's gonna be Le Mans, an hour and a half in the dark. So your tires, no matter what you do, will stay at like 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So at night. So I'm not sure that
Justin Slim Friesen says, Jeeps deployed the secret weapon. Just happens that the weapon was you, LOL.
Deploy the weapon.
Very Albig Maple says, LMAO exactly, Justin.
Okay, let's try this. I like this new Toyota. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know if you guys are seeing the jitters
Justin
here.
Slim Friesen says, wow, that's a busy track.
Yeah, you guys seeing I'm getting the jitters
Barry
here.
Albig Maple says, that was my first time in a year that I drove in LMU, so I think I fairly well TBH, except 30 seconds of penalties for hitting a GT3 and Devon.
How did your pit stop go? Did practicing the night before helped it? I just updated Moza Pit House today and I'm getting this again. And that's not me here, that's... I think, yeah.
Barry Albig Maple says, went fine thanks to the help for Dale, Justin and you.
I was expecting also a lot more drive-thrus yesterday. I mean, 10
Justin
minutes...
Slim Friesen says, I'm gonna guess it's the overly busy track.
Yeah, 55 cars here. Whoa. Okay, let me try to maybe reset my something. Can I reset my wheel here? My force feedback, will that help? Wheel still feels light though.
Barry Albig Maple says, I need to do dailies so I get my driver rating up from XLOL.
Oh, from your rookie status? I wouldn't bother with that. I don't know, what was it, Larson and...
Justin Slim Friesen says, that's a lot of telemetry.
Yeah, a lot of the guys kept it for a long time. Yeah, this is not drivable, honestly, folks. There's way too many people here on this track for my CPU and RAM and stuff. Well, that's a bummer. Hey, it actually let me out. Is this fixed? I think this is the one that's fixed, right? No? We're good here? Let's try it out here.
Barry Albig Maple says, I need to get Race Lab set up for LMU so I can give myself a better view as there is too much in my face driving, smiley face. Justin Slim Friesen says, BTW Jeeps. My stuttering and FPS issues cleared up for the race yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you wrote that somewhere. I don't know if it was Glenn's stream or something. I did see that though. Maybe I didn't answer your question about how I enjoyed my race yesterday, which I didn't. I mean, I enjoy going around the track in the car, but I didn't enjoy the racing conditions. But yeah, I saw that you put in the word there that okay, so they're already loaded. Let's try this out. Syncing server real world, please wait. What happens if I don't wait? Too much information.
Very Albig Maple says. TBH, that was a tough track with all those cars and being a very short track for the speeds that could be obtained.
Well, you know, I have so many issues with it. Whoa!
Very Albig Maple says. But it was fun.
Okay, just notice that we do not have tire warmers here. Man, I hate that. That's enough to make me rage quit. It was fun. It was okay. But, you know, if I was just a commentator of a race, I would be pointing out so many things that I don't like in yesterday's race. I could do a whole show about it. But, like you guys said, I got one wish list, and that's another 20 tracks for this game. I don't need 20 new cars.
Very Albig Maple says. Don't rage quit. I was taken out in my IMSA race last night on the first corner of the first lap, but I only lost 50 IR but could have lost 100.
Well, I saw that race yesterday. I saw that. No, well, that's... You know, yes, you'll always have some idiots that you play with. And I'm surprised because everybody always says, oh, iRacing, we don't have these idiots because it's so much more expensive and people don't want to get banned for their investment.
Very Albig Maple says. That Porsche guy was an idiot in caps.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It does happen, you know, sometimes, like, yes, he was upshifting and accelerating and not paying attention to what's going on the road.
Justin Slim Friesen says. The race is cleaner. Not clean.
But on the other hand...
Very Albig Maple says. And he was the number 2 car, he should have known.
I don't know what that means, the number 2 car. Is that like his I rating or something when you guys say the number 2?
Justin Slim Friesen says. There's idiots everywhere.
But my point being is that yes, he was upshifting, yes, he was full throttle.
Very Albig Maple says. He was the second best driver in the split.
Okay, that's what you guys mean by he's number 2. Okay. But my point is...
Justin Slim Friesen says. Yes. Second highest rated driver in that lobby.
Okay. But my point is that maybe he suffers from the same thing I suffer, where I can't see none of these numbers, right? I can see that I'm in 5th gear and that my tire temperature is 50 degrees. Anything smaller than these numbers I can't see. That's why I got my big thing up there. So if I'm trying to see if, oh, the race has started, how much fuel have I got? If I put my eyes there and I try to read that, I'm not seeing what I'm doing on track. So maybe that's what happened to that idiot. He has really bad eyesight and he was trying to read something in his HUD and ran into you. Not paying attention to the track, which happens to me all the time.
Very Albig Maple says. But he can see smoke and cars brakes on, but he didn't see that and just went faster.
Yeah. But I also accelerate and shift on the sound of the engine without necessarily looking at the track.
Justin Slim Friesen says, whatever the excuses was, it was terrible.
Yep, and it's all on him, and I agree. But you know how Slim is that, oh, the information you want to know, it's in that menu there. So you navigate to this thing here, and then you go down, and then you set your save laps.
Very Albie Maple says, LMAO, I don't see the track.
Well, if you're looking at it and not seeing it, that's an issue. But even I was telling Slim the other day, if I look somewhere in my HUD and if I want to see how much fuel or VE I have, and then look back at the track, it still takes my brain like 10 seconds to adjust to the track again. Like if I'm looking at something in the HUD and I come back to the track, my braking zones, my shifting zones, all of that, it takes like 10 seconds to readapt to the speed of the game, if that makes any sense. I know I'm getting too old to play these games, but everybody keeps telling me, you're never too old. As long as you're having fun. Who cares if you screw up the race for everybody else?
Very Albie Maple says, suggestion, maybe a slower car might help you. You are driving the fastest car.
Are you kidding me, man?
Justin Slim Friesen says, it does make sense. Cause I have the same issue. Just not as bad though.
Well, maybe I say, 10 seconds, maybe it's 5, but 5 seconds is a long time, No, these are the cars that I most enjoy driving.
Very Albie Maple says, well, not just as bad cause he's older than you, Justin, LOL.
These are the cars that I have the most fun driving. I'm still getting some wobble here. I don't know how many we are in the server, but...
Justin Slim Friesen says, the old brain don't tick over as good as it used to. LOL.
No, it doesn't.
Very Albie Maple says, well, drive what you want cause it's you who's enjoying it. Smiley face.
Exactly. See, like, I know I'm like the slowest.
Very Albie Maple says, yeah, mine is ticking over tomorrow, so I will have another year of excuses.
Well, happy birthday in case I don't
Justin
get another
Slim Friesen
chance
says,
to wish you happy birthday.
LOL. Reaper on YouTube says, hello.
Hello, Reaper on YouTube. So yeah, happy birthday to you if I don't get the chance to wish you it again. Oh man, these cars are going all over the
Reaper
place.
on YouTube says, how is it going?
It's going okay. Like, I know I'm the slowest guy on the grid. Driving
Albie
these
Maple
cars,
says,
I don't feel
thanks
slow.
much appreciated. I was going to stream tomorrow but family taking me out for some Top Golf.
Well, that's okay because nobody watches Battle Force 5, 6. I mean, I watch it, but I don't. I'm there in the thing there, but I'm doing something else.
Justin Slim Friesen says, oh nice. Happy birthday.
But yeah, I'm the slowest guy on the grid, but driving these cars, I don't feel slow. And even though I'm the slowest guy in the grid, I never finish last. So, go figure.
Barry Albig Maple says, well, you watch it, that's all that matters, thanks for joining in. Barry Albig Maple says, thanks Justin, much appreciated.
Yeah, well, us little content creators have got to band together before AI replaces us.
Justin Slim Friesen says, shots fired. LOL.
Man, I'm still getting some wobble here. I haven't had this in a long time. I just updated Moza before starting and it's back. I'm starting to think it's a Moza issue.
Barry Albig Maple says, ideally I want my channel to be variety, so that's why I am playing not just sim racing.
Well, that's okay. But it's also gaming, so it's still niche to gaming, you know. I get it. Every once in a while I'll play something else. But I really like sim racing. Okay, is there a track that I can do here in Hypercars?
Barry Albig Maple says, exactly, just type of gaming, smiley face.
See, I also have a variety channel, but it could be about cats, it could be about movies and shows that I watch, it could be political, it could be about the Lego fiasco.
Barry Albig Maple says, like, I want to get some Star Citizen in my lineup along with iRacing and LMU and Battlefield 6.
Oh man, Star Citizen. I am so pissed off at that game. And I've never recovered from it. Man, I want to do this race, but I don't have 75 minutes. My stream ends in 20 minutes. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Go all night.
Barry Albig Maple says, yes, I am pissed off also, that's why I haven't put it on my channel for a while, awaiting stability, smiley face.
Well, see, what was it? 15?
Barry Albig Maple says, you don't have 75 minutes. Why you don't work, LOL.
LOL. Well, see, I need to go for a walk with the cats. Because it's a nice sunny day. I have to cook
Justin
my
Slim
own
Friesen
supper.
says, honestly, SC might be the most boring thing I've ever tried to watch.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a big sci-fi dude, grew up on Star Wars, Star Trek. Wanted the squadron thing to take off and all of that
Barry Albig Maple says,
stuff.
agree Justin, smiley face.
But I bought the game. Well, actually, I had the game for free. A free ship in the game 15 years ago, which was a racer. And all I could do for a year and a half is walk around my ship in the hangar. I could not even fly it for a year and a half. So I got upset. It was the biggest gimmick ever. And the guy's gotten like $15 billion for his development.
Barry Albig Maple says, OMG, that would piss me off, can see why you aren't a fan.
Well, see, I was excited about the game. I was happy and all that stuff, but You never got to, they were talking, oh, we're going to do this space thing and that space thing and space stuff, and you'll be able to walk inside of your ship and stuff, and the battle, the physics, the space physics. And then 5 years later, they were like working on this guy that goes on a planet, digs, uses different mechanical stuff to dig stuff, to collect resources. And I'm like, what? I don't want to run around in an astronaut suit. I bought a ship to go flying in space.
Very Albig Maple says. Well, you can do that now after 15 YRS LOL.
Yeah.
Very Albig Maple says. And Squadron 42 still isn't out.
Yeah, see, they were talking about that 15 years ago. So, every once in a while, I'll watch somebody's, oh, there's been a big update to this game, and all they do is run around the ship in the hangar and go inside the ship. Like they came out with a ship like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that it's a cargo ship or whatever. And the ship's really big and you can walk inside of it. It's going to have a command module that separates from the ship, but that's not implemented yet. And there's so many bugs and people bricking up their ships. And I'm like, I'm not seeing any space battles. Are they going to put any space in this space game anytime soon? Nah, space, no, not for me. It's too bad. But I'm not getting into it.
Very Albig Maple says. Well, I will get it on my stream soon so you can watch again and enjoy me dealing with the bugs still.
Yeah, we'll see. No thanks, but no thanks.
Very Albig Maple says. Probably will be on a Friday night stream.
Nah, get yourself Elite and Dangerous and go and play that, stream that instead. I might get back to
Very Albig Maple says. 4 days of sim racing, 1 day of Star Citizen and 1 day of Battlefield 6.
I might stream some MechWarrior. I'd like to get into DCS. But these are all stuff that are expensive and I have very limited budget. Because, as Glenn likes to remind people, I can't work. And let's just say that my YouTube revenues aren't that much.
Very Albig Maple says. I played MechWarrior many years ago.
Man, I played that competitively in leagues and stuff. Crazy. From MechWarrior 3 to MechWarrior 4 to MechWarrior Online to MechWarrior 5. It's the first game I started streaming on my channel.
Very Albig Maple says. Sorry, didn't mean you can't work, came over wrong. I meant you aren't working, so why can't you do 75 minutes races what I meant. Sorry.
No, I got other things to do. And I keep a routine, and my cats are a big part of my life, and I take them for walks. They're like dogs. Sometimes they'll follow me, sometimes I'm stuck following them. But we've been cooped up all winter long and summer just appeared this week, so even in the winter I take them out for walks. But instead of going for 2 or 3 hours, we're gone for 15-20 minutes. Because it does get cold here in Canada. But yeah, I am disabled. I'm paralyzing from the right side, and amongst my cognitive capabilities, like I always have to fill out medical forms and stuff, and I don't understand nothing. Like I start reading a sentence, and by the time I get to the end of the sentence, I've already forgotten the beginning, so I don't know what we're talking about. So I do have a social worker that helps me go through all the forms. So my brain doesn't work like it used to. My body doesn't work like it used to. And I used to ride motorcycles, and I was a big speed bike enthusiast doing track days.
Very Albig Maple says. Sorry to hear that, I wasn't aware. Sad face.
And, you know, love doing track days on speed bikes and stuff, and pulling wheelies. I can't do that anymore. Can't do that. I know, don't be sorry. It's life, you know. I worked as a janitor for 12 years before retiring from all of that 3 years ago. And an ex-tenant put me in a coma. Since then, I'm having trouble with my eyesight. I'm having trouble with the brain functions and stuff. The physical stuff, that's from an injury. I did some rock climbing when I was 21. Fell off the mountain. And, yeah. My neck here is really, really bad. And I mean, it's bad, but it took like 30 years for it to affect me. And now I start randomly falling down, dropping plates, can't hold my fork sometimes. Like you can see, I got both hands on my steering wheel. This one has like 100% power, and this one has 25% power. So I don't need 25 Newton meters when this hand can't do anything about it. But I still want to get a stronger wheelbase. Just to see if it's real that you can feel more textures. But as far as the strength of force feedback, like I have no intention of driving a car that doesn't have power steering. And no interest in that whatsoever. I like my power steering very much, thank you. I live my life, so it's hard getting older and realizing you can't do what you used to do. But you know what? It's like having hair, you know. At some point you realize that you're losing it and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just part of life, buddy. And there's people like Dale that never had any hair, so I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. And I'm really liking this car. I like the new Toyota. It was the first hypercar other than the...
Barry Albig Maple says. Well, from what I heard, the bald guys that have lost their hair, it just went to their chin as the brain forgot what side was up. Justin Slim Friesen says. Where would you be if you couldn't complain about health, LOL?
Well, I would be complaining that this game needs 20 more tracks.
Very Albig Maple says. 6 feet under.
6 feet under.
Justin Slim Friesen says. LOL. Justin Slim Friesen says. That's coming for all of us.
Ooh, I think I got too much battery usage.
Jerry Albig Maple says. Okay, back to work for me, JP, CYA Justin, and Dale later, guys.
Okay, thanks for stopping by. Catch you later, Glenn.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Father Time remains undefeated.
Father Time.
Very Albig Maple says. I won't be 6 feet under. I will be in a small box.
Yeah, in theory, so would I. Being cremated. But I'm guessing they'll want my body for science.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Same. Very Albig Maple says. Okay, later, guys. On a happy note, it's sunny out. Have a good rest of the day, maybe CYA tonight, guys. Justin Slim Friesen says. Later.
Exactly, laters. Yes, it is a nice, beautiful, sunny day today. Okay, so some tires are too hot. Should I just open the rear ducts, or should I put hard tires on? Ooh, and I'm on soft tires. Maybe just going to mediums would help as well. I am liking this Toyota, honestly. Like, I don't feel like it's fast on the top speed. I feel like it accelerates fast though. Like in the speeds where you need to be passing GTs.
Reaper on YouTube says. What is the best cars?
Reaper, good question. Every driver will say that the car they're driving is the best car.
Reaper on YouTube says. How do you unlock cars in this game? Justin Slim Friesen says. The one you like the most, TBH.
Yep, basically that's how things work. While the game comes with basic tracks and cars, and then you just pay a monthly subscription to have access to everything. Or you can buy all the DLCs.
Reaper on YouTube says. I see.
Like, Glenn drives a hypercar Porsche or a Mustang GT. And it's not necessarily because it's a good car in the game. It's because it's his favorite car. Like, he owns a Mustang, therefore in the game he wants to drive the car. He wants to race the car that he has, because he's not going to go off racing with his real car. Slim likes to drive his McLaren, even though it got nerfed into oblivion. I also enjoyed the McLaren, but I rather drive hypercars. And my favorites in hypers are always changing. Like the Genesis is faster than the Peugeot, but the Peugeot handles better. Like the Peugeot is an incredibly safe car to drive. You throw it in the corner, and even though it suffers from understeer, it's still gonna pull you through the corner.
Justin Slim Friesen says, the game does a decent job with the bop, balance of performance. So all cars are reasonably competitive.
Exactly. The Ferrari's super fast, but will spin out on a dime. And I'm trying the new Toyota that came out this year, and I'm liking it. Not as fast as the BMW or the Ferrari. Faster than the Peugeot and handles like the Peugeot, if that makes any sense. Or similar to the Peugeot, I would say. Like, it's a compromise between the Ferrari and the Peugeot, and that's why I think I like this car. Ooh, just busted my car. Hit the wall there, dang it. And it doesn't even show. I'm still very drivable. Yeah, I need to try it at Imola and on Coda. Once I try this car on those two tracks, I'll have a better idea. But so far, Algarve and here in Le Mans, I'm liking it. I think this might be my new favorite. So Justin, well, by the time they officially come out with loadouts or setups, I might have already done all of my setups. But yeah, really enjoying this car. Let's watch it. Let's set up a smoke screen.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I think they have safe and balanced out. No aggressive yet though.
Well, it's kind of ridiculous because I don't like the safe and I take the aggressive and then I make the aggressive safe. If that makes no sense. But so far, I'm taking the default CDAs in this game and just changing everything about it. And I'm enjoying it. Like, I feel like, well, the car suffers from the Ferrari tail happy thing, which can be addressed. And I think it's more differential than it is suspension and all that.
Justin Slim Friesen says, well, the default CDA is just the safe setup anyways.
Yeah, well, you told me that there might be a difference between those, and we never really got into really checking it out. Because I find that they're not really safe. Like, I'm spinning the rear out like crazy at Algarve. Same thing with the Ferrari. I take your safe setups, I take the fixed setups, I take the CDA setups, and no matter what you do, the Ferrari just wants to spin out. This car, not as bad, but still has a little bit of that. But I find that when I'm coming out of a corner behind a GT3, it's a lot easier for me to have the power to pass that GT3 before the next corner. Like, I feel this car has it. And I feel like the Peugeot doesn't. That's why I kind of went with the Ferrari. But this might be my new favorite. Still have to rework your livery. I was gonna do it today, but this one was running long. I'm gonna redo just your rear bumper to invert the colors to make the white parts green and the green parts white. So I think it will match more the one that you have in iRacing.
Justin Slim Friesen says, but when the game has an update which requires a change to that setup, the members get that one first. LMU will add the adjusted CDA setups at a later date. Makes sense.
Oh, so that's why maybe it's different. That makes a lot of sense. But I'm getting really comfortable with the setups on these cars now. And again, a special shout out to Arnu that explains everything. Like, my only criticism is that he takes 40 minutes to explain something that would take 5 with a comprehensive chart. Like,
Justin
he likes to...
Slim Friesen says, yeah, he's good.
He's good, but he explains everything and takes 10 minutes to explain every different thing, showing you 5 or 6 charts of what he's trying to explain, instead of just saying, okay, well, if you're losing your rear under coast, change this setting to this. If you're losing the rear under power, then change this setting to this.
Justin Slim Friesen says, true, but I like the attention to detail.
Yes, I agree. You know, because, well, like, I know everything about the suspension and the dampeners, and I don't need explanation in those things. But when it comes to the third spring, something that is, you know, different and applies to these hypercars that don't apply to GTs, that I like to have the long explanation. What is this third spring they're talking about? Where is it? How does it work? So that I'll listen to that 40-minute thing. But when you're talking about coasting and power on the differential, I just need to know in which direction I need to click the button. And you know what? Even after his 40-minute explanation, I still did not know which way to do it. So what I had to do is come into the game, change just one thing, but max it out in one direction and then max it out in the other direction. And see how it was different. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I know how this works now. Like, he could put a chart up to explain it in 5 minutes. But obviously, in a 40-minute video, he gets more advertising. So I need to start doing the same thing. I like the livery on this car. It came out nice. Like, I really like the chrome, but I didn't want to go too much chrome this time around. I kind of wanted that arrow on the front, but still have chrome in the colors, which are my colors. I know they're not yours, but I think this is a good compromise of what I like. I'm not hating it. And I kind of did something weird on it this time around too. And I don't know if you can notice it in the front here, but above the headlights here and here, I kind of made some headlights. You can see, you know, when you look at it from this angle, it's like this is where the headlights should have been, like on a Porsche, you know, instead of all the way down here in the bumper. So I kind of put them up there.
Justin Slim Friesen says, LOL. I see it now.
You know, I was having fun. I still got a lot of chrome on the car. And then I got my favorite colors on it. And still has the anime style to it, with the rivets and panel lines and whatnot. And I love doing liveries. Yeah, it's not really noticeable from here, but I kind of had fun with it. It was either that or keep going with the arrow and make them yellow. And I'm like, nope. I kind of noticed that little bump there. That kind of looks like Porsche headlights. I kind of like decided to go in that route. But okay, I guess it's time for me to go for a walk with the kitties and think about supper and come back tonight and do some real racing. Now that I got this car set up for the Algarve. What's the other track? I forget. What's the other track? I like both races, but I forget what the other one is. Is it Silverstone? Or was that last week? What's the other track this week? Oh, it is Le Mans. Okay, so I already got my setup for this one. And I got my setup for Algarve. Perfect.
Justin Slim Friesen says, alright. Later.
Oh, a big thank you, and I will catch you later.